Okay. Hello, everybody. We are here with the latest patch note review. This is the patch Protect and Support. I think they called that because they buffed a single support item. Whoa! Crazy! One item? Support in the meta! Not really, though. Support sucks. So, we do get some pretty cool skins, though. Starting off with an AMA skin, Space Knight. For all intents and purposes, this is Jedi AMA, kind of adding to that Dark Lord, Sith, Sun Wukong vibe. You know, have them both on your team, and then you guys can have a lightsaber battle. Just like you do at home with your brothers. Okay. We got Anubis skin. Honestly, one of the cooler skins that I've seen. K9, obviously, as you can very clearly see. This skin, though, all the skills and stuff are redone, and it's sick, and I love it. But I'm tired of Anubis skins. Anubis got so many skins. He's got recolors of skins. He has skins. He has recolors of recolored skins. Okay? Anubis got enough skins. Give this cool skin to somebody else, man. Come on, man. That's such a cool skin. I don't know. Fenrir's a dog. Rat has a skin where he's a dog. Have a skin where he's a dog playing a dog canine. There you go. I don't know. Come on, man. Alright. More importantly, though, we get Athena skins. We get Athena skins, dude. 2 Athena skins. One with helmet, one without helmet. They are coming in a bundle. And you can get both of these skins, both of them, for only 400 gems. It's 400 gems and you get both of these skins. Also, by far, the one without the helmet is way better. I don't want to start a fight with anybody, but if you try to tell me that this one's better, I don't know. Something bad is going to happen. I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to come into your room. I'm going to look you dead in the eye. And I'm going to say, you're wrong. And I'm going to leave the way I came, right through your window. Outside of that, we have Chiron Gold Legendary Diamond skins. The card is sick. The card is super cool. As far as the skins go in-game, they all look kind of like you thought they would. Legendaries are the coolest skins in the game. They look cooler than diamonds. But, you know, that's just me personally. I think the black and golds are always cooler than the diamond skins. But that's just me. That's just me. Updated God skins. They updated the Fnatic and her. Basically, now there's little circles on the jersey because I guess now the Fnatic jerseys have little circles on them. So, like, there you go. That's a thing. So, there you go. That's been redone a little bit. Voice packs for the new skins. New PlayStation 4 beta icon. Whoa. Whoa, crazy. Achievements for Athena and Chuck and Scotty. Oh my god, best patch ever. Alright. Miscellaneous. Fixed an issue with the Japanese flag. Would load behind Japanese gods. Would not launch behind the Japanese. The Japanese? What am I saying? Anyway, this is not even worded right, and I can't even say it wrong right. It's fixed. It was groundbreaking. You couldn't see the Japanese flag. We're good. Okay. So, when I saw item changes, Bluestone Pendant, okay? When I saw item changes to Bluestone Pendant, part of me laughed and said, I cannot believe they're changing Bluestone Pendant again. Part of me said, screw it. Let's just change Bluestone Pendant every single patch for the rest of our life because, I don't know, that's fun at least. They did not though, but they fixed Bluestone showing up in the MP5 section of the store. So, there you go. The dream has been fixed. The dream's been fixed. Bulwark of Hope. They're buffing it again. After the nerf, they found that it wasn't quite in the right place that they wanted it to be. And so they're bringing it back up to where it was previously. So the shield stays on you again, and they buff the shield amount and so that way it can be kind of, you know, more in a good place in the magical defense items. So I'm just kidding with you guys. I'm just kidding. But they did fix a tooltip issue on behalf of the shield. So that's something. Y'all got nervous though, weren't you? Y'all were nervous. Y'all were real nervous though. You know, that change to Bulwark would be as ridiculous as buffing Sir Cat. Continuing on. Sovereignty. We're actually getting a buff. We're actually getting a buff to Sovereignty. So, we are getting a 10 protection buff to Sovereignty on the aura. So, as you know, nobody was picking up Sov, like, at all, right? Nobody was picking up Sov. So, it increased the physical protection aura from 20 to 30. 30 protection aura physical, especially early for your team, is actually a big deal. You know, 20 was good, but 30 early, this might lean the support over to getting Sovereignty now before they do some other things, or maybe right after they do it. So, like, maybe you get your one item and then into Sov. We'll have to see how it goes protection-wise, but that's a big buff for your team. That might be hard to avoid. So, Throwing Dagger. This is really interesting. They want to buff gods that don't have the capability to clear. So, Throwing Dagger. Now, basic attacks hit enemy within a 15-unit radius of the target for 25% damage and 50% to minions and jungle camps. 25% damage to gods. And then Golden Bow is 50% to gods and 75% to minions and jungle camps. So they're trying to like find ways to maybe like bring Artemis into the meta. Like, hey, pick up Throwing Dagger and you're doing 50% damage on all your AoE auto attacks. Realistically, all this said was, hey, Mercury, congratulations. You can full clear everything all the time right now. Here it goes. But other than that, they're trying to bring in, you know, these gods that are like super strong endgame but have no clear early game, like Artemis. Wind Demon seeing a huge nerf. By huge nerf, I mean bug fix, which is also a huge nerf. Wind Demon was preventing all healing. And by all healing, I mean 100%. If you bought Wind Demon and you got the crit, so you got the healing reduction, it was 100% healing reduction instead of like the 40% it was supposed to be. So pretty significant nerf to Wind Demon. So for all of you that knew about that bug and were abusing it against healers, you're the worst kind of person. You're the worst kind of person. So AMC is getting a little bit of a buff. For those that don't know, we actually had a bit of a twitchy community feed session where we talked about like what we wanted to see buffed and nerfed. And I sent a big form to Pawn, basically looking over the list of what we came up with and like anything that I personally agreed with as well. I sent onward to Pawn. I obviously didn't put anything ridiculous or stupid. I put in, you know, a lot of tiny changes that I think could help bring characters into the meta, or at least get them a little bit closer. And one of the changes that we did get was Honey is now a flat 20% slow at all ranks instead of going from 5 to 25. Helps them a little bit with that giveaway, that getaway type dealio, because a 5% slow is completely pointless. Why did that even exist ever at some point? So, look at that. Congratulations, Twitchy community. You did something. Congrats. We did it. We did it. To the Reddit. So, Artemis also receiving a little buff. A little bit different than I think people expected the buff would be, but they gave her an extra 5% attack speed on Vengeful Assault at all ranks. 5% attack speed on Vengeful Assault plus Golden Bow. Maybe her clear ends up being super strong. Maybe. Give or take, give or take. We'll test it out. We'll test it out. Bastet had one of the funniest bugs I've ever heard of. Rank 1 of D-Claw was dealing magical damage. Magical damage, not physical damage. Magical damage. First of all, the person that found that out, shout out to you. You pay so much attention to this game. I need you to play a different game. You pay way too much attention to this game. I don't know how you would ever find that out. But you know what? Shout outs to you. Shout outs to you. Who knows that? Chalk fixed an issue where Torrent's teleportation could be canceled early. This is the axe combo, resulting in what could possibly be stuck in the wall. You could actually get stuck in the wall with Chalk. So you could actually get stuck in the wall. So that's something. Chiron! Nerf to Chiron because Chiron's still too strong. You are now 40% slower in Chiron ult. Period. So you use your Chiron ult, you still get your CC immunity and all that stuff, but you are now 40% slower, so you can't just use it to run away as CC immunity because you're going to be stuck. And you also can't use it and maybe catch up to somebody that was already a little bit too far. So, not too bad, not too bad. I like it. Ice is seeing a pretty significant change. Winga scaling reduced from 40% to 30%. The reason why it's a bigger deal than not is because that skill procs 4 times. So it was actually 160% scaling. By taking 10% scaling off of it, now it's only 120% scaling instead of 160%. So it's actually a 40% scaling nerf to Wingas. Doesn't really affect her early clear. It does affect her late game damage. So trying to get Isis a little bit down because she's being banned and picked and she's really strong. Khepri getting nerfed again because Khepri can't go through a patch without getting nerfed. To be fair, Khepri's still super strong, but like it's become a new thing. But let's nerf Khepri every patch, and I love it. Nerf him forever. Nerf him forever. So they nerfed his base health from 510 to 460, trying to make Khepri squishier because he has the passive shield. The passive shield gives him extra HP. That combined with his high base HP gave him a lot of HP. So there you go. There you go. Poseidon fixed an issue where he could pull the fire elementals out of the fire giant pit. Basically, the issue was sometimes when you would cast Whirlpool, if the Whirlpool didn't kill the minions, they would like endlessly walk and slide forever across the map and just kind of, there they go. Rip minions. Serket, as was alluded to earlier. Serket, I'm not lying to you, so we're going to get right into it. Let's read the comments. Serket was placed into a rough spot after the Season 3 changes. Not true. She was nerfed not only from direct changes to her mobility, but also her build path of crit and CDR was made less effective. True. Sure. Combined, the changes were too much. Not true. The patch, we bring some of the mobility back through Deathbane and shift some of her power away from crit needed to being effective. All I'm saying is Serket has been getting played a lot in scrims and in top level ranked to the point to where people are banning it again. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So here comes the change. Deathbane cooldown reduced from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Because when I think Serket, I think that god needs mobility. And that's the first thing I think, is that god needs more mobility. So, with full cooldown, Serket now has a 4-second cooldown, a 6-second cooldown with her Deathbane. Cobra's Kiss, look at this. Look how many things it got. Damage increase from 50 to 130, from 50 to 150. Scaling increase from 40% to 50%. Madness damage increased from 50 to 90 to 50 to 150. And madness scaling increased from 40% to 50%. Also updated the tooltip to be less confusing because I would hate for you to be confused when playing this broken god. You know what I'm saying? I'd hate for you to be confused in your mind. I'd hate for you to think like, I just don't know what to do. You just hit one and you just zip it, and then you just zip it, and then everything dies. So, other than that, though, all the changes actually in this patch were great. But the Surcat patch, I don't know what happens in the Surcat patch for the Surcat. Everything else actually was fine for the most part. The only thing that I really think was just not needed was the Surcat buff. But other than that, honestly, it was actually a really good patch. Sovereignty, helping out AMC a little bit, Artemis a little bit. Like, a lot of things actually were good in this patch, but it was just the Surcat that was Smith. Scotty's seeing a little bit of a nerf. Not the biggest changes. The big thing here is that they reduced the cooldown of, or increased the cooldown of Kaldyr's dash from 2 seconds to 5 seconds. That's the skill. When you put 1 point into Kaldyr, you get a dash attack. That dash attack does a lot of bonus damage. So now it's on a 5-second cooldown, which is a big deal for chasing. And then Winter's Grasp, which is the ultimate, has the duration reduced from 5 to 4 seconds. Kaldyr is invincible, not quite as long. You don't get the bleed damage quite as long. Good changes. Still doesn't really stop her split push potential, though. So that's still going to be a problem. She's still going to be able to Loki it up. Sun Wukong getting his first buff in, man, maybe a year. He's been getting nerfed for forever. They put his base health back up by 20. So 450 to 470. Sure, whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Vulcan seeing a pretty substantial buff. Earthshaker point blank damage increased from 50% to 60%, and they reduced the travel time at max range by a little bit. So when you full launch the Vulcan ult, it goes faster, so the indicator shows up later. So by the time the indicator shows up, it's like a half a second until it hits instead of like a full second. That's actually a big buff. It does not go faster point blank. It goes faster at the farthest distance. So, and the final change, and it's actually a buff to Zeus, which is actually kind of important. Aegis Assault, which is Zeus's 2, which is his main source of clear. Aegis Assault no longer knocks back minions. This means that when you throw out the Aegis Assault, you won't spread out the archers and the melees from each other, resulting in being unable to hit the entire wave at the same time. So it'll help out his early game clear a lot. You can throw out the Assault to get the damage out, and then auto attack it, and it won't, spread out your stuff, which is actually really nice. And that is the patch, guys. That is patch, protect, and support. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know your take on how it could affect the meta down in the comments. And of course, thank you to all of you that subscribed. All right, guys.